Seeing and hearing this song done in a variety of ways over the years from Ado, I'm really excited to hear it in this setting. I feel like the first take videos offer an extra level of examination possibility. Let's dive in and hear this song in a way that we haven't heard it before, with an extra level of detail. Yes, of course. But so artistic at the same time. I mean, even that image right there. The sharp, you have the pop filter on the mic that you see in back of the silhouette. Taste. And on all of these, I love that you can hear, I mean, everything. The ruffling of the clothes, the footsteps, the initial breaths.
お願いします。正しさとは愚かさとはそれが何か見せつけてやる。
I mean, it's even more raw. You know, I haven't seen this one yet, but I did happen to watch the interview on this of her, and it was with Phantom Sita as well, and they were talking about being nervous, and she was talking about, you know, the first time she recorded the song was when she was 17, and now she's 23, and she's still performing it, and I love that we got that kind of perspective, or that I have that kind of perspective, hearing her talk about it, even before I've heard her perform this one. The rawness of that scream, the texture that we hear, the closeness that I feel to her voice. I'm sure we'll talk more about the screams. How she fell off of that. Right, you can hear, mine was more distorted in that particular case than hers was, but you can still hear that underlying note, and then she releases into a We hear those stages even more in this setting. There's a lot of distortion on her singing voice. That mic, it has a drive to it. A post-production distortion on it, which is letting it feel closer to us, the listener, and giving us more post-voice saturation, even though she adds a lot of saturation by herself. It's important to note that. It's actually allowing us to hear more detail, more nuance out of her voice, the distortion is. Releasing from a arbitrary head voice place and then grounding in chest voice. She does that so well. Very grounded. And notice how she brightens up. She does this so well. And, you know, of course, this is stuff she does in every recording. Not every recording. A lot of recordings. But I love being able to hear it as a singular voice with much more prominence. Embracing her vocal break. If I could sum up her approach and her freedom in one phrase, it would be she utilizes her vocal break. She breaks all the time, sighing in and out of phrases with her screams, with her going in and out of head voice and articulating a particular line. You always hear her breaking, which is the antithesis of where most of us want to go as vocalists, right? Oh, I hope my voice doesn't crack. Oh, I better make sure that I hit that note without any... No, I mean, she just goes completely the other direction. I've actually learned a lot from her in that regard. There's so much possibility when you embrace your vocal break. Now, you can't do it in the way that she's doing it unless you really understand how to place and support your voice. If you're not sure how to do that, or you're not sure you're sure how to do that, click the link below in the pinned comment or video description and join my free singing course. I'll help you pull from your inspirations, experiment with your voice in a freeing way so that you can do some of this stuff.
これはトリックのせいあてもなくただ混乱するヘイデイそれもそっか最新の流行は当然
I said I go to different postures too. It's not just the language, although Ado, Nainlana, Kenshi, these singers, I think maybe it's partially because of the language, they're moving their placement around and becoming multiple people, multiple characters within one line while they're singing, and it's so incredibly compelling.
それもそっか最新の流行は当然のはず経済の動向も通勤時で純情な精神で入社しは社会人じゃ当然のルールですああうせうせうせは
We gotta hear it again.
な精神で入社しは社会人じゃ当然のルールですああうせうせうせは
So what is so remarkable about this isn't just the fact that she's doing this cool scream out of a sigh, right? We hear the heh, heh at the beginning of that, and then she slides in and around while she's screaming. So she's gotten that vocal break, ha, 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 gone down, but that she then rebounds into a perfectly clean, controlled posture. Let's break this up into different stages. Ha, ha, ha. Invoke the vocal break. Ha. Lean in, compress the vocal break, like I've talked about in many other audio videos. Ha, hey, hey. And we get that, and we want it to be inconsistent. We hear it inconsistent with her too. Then slide down. Ha, ha. Keep the compression. And keep leaning into that break even as you're lowering the pitch. And then pull the rug out from under it. And then you'll do one final break. Hey! And then you can clean it up. This is how she's switching modes so easily. And when I speed that up, even though I haven't practiced this exact coordination, I'm able to get back to clean because even though this sounds treacherous for my voice, it's not, because I'm exposing the vulnerabilities in my voice. I'm not just pushing harder and harder. I'm leaning into natural volatility created by certain coordinations, not just pushing harder and harder and hoping for the best. That's what she does too, and she does it for very limited sections. That's why it's effective for us as listeners as well. It's less of a distortion, right? We just had, we had that kind of thing. And now we have, it's just a compressed mixed note. Posture is very bright. Crowd, yeah. And then we compress over that, lifting something heavy. Yeah. That's very different than at that same pitch, invoking the vocal break. Yeah. It's still the same note. It's just a different technique, a different set of structures, and a different posture with that same note. Again, we hear her doing that front and center right here. Way more than we have in any other version of this song, I think. Same notes, but going up to head voice. Right there, invoking This is a epiglottal rattle, as opposed to false chord, hey, as opposed to that vocal break sound, hey, which we could associate with both false chord and fry. Notice how she subtly invokes distortion it's not always just wah, but because she's going in and out of so many different postures all the time, at least for me, for my ear, I'm like, oh, it keeps me so in tune. So in tune. Compression over a clean note, and then she abandons into that vocal break, all in, I mean, not even a second, right? Right? You've got both of them in 2 notes. I think she's become more and more free and abandoned with this song over the years. I mean, you listen to the original studio recording, and that's the studio. But the fact that she's doing this much switching on a one-take, much more raw, she's improved massively. Massively.
ずっとも私も犯人犬殴ったりするのは No thank you だったら
No thank you. That's an interesting. She didn't go up on that note there, on that melody.
も犯人犬殴ったりするのは No thank you
No thank you. Kind of expected her to go there.
だったら言葉の中古をその頭に突きつけて腕を出せやまない止まれやしない
I like the rolled R's there.
のは No thank you だったら言葉の中古をその頭に突きつけて腕を出せやまない止まれやしない
What I love about that phrase there is you really hear that pitch witchy sound with the scream, right? A lot of times when I'm abandoning into this stuff, you hear my normal voice. Hey! It's up there. Right? There's a lot of personality to it. It's not just like a white noise sort of sound, like a I mean, that could be that doesn't include my vocal cords, that particular sound. And so that could really be anybody. But we hear so much of Ado's volatility because we hear so much of her real voice in the midst of those screams. That's why these broken, embracing your passaggio or your vocal break screams are so effective. There's that just false chord distortion! The compression-based stuff again. Oh, she's so mellow, and then she goes right here. That's so fun to hear that sound. Oh, I love that she can sound so comforting and cradling, and then menacing here, and then it just gone, right?
皆がつまみやすいように串やしなさい体型や注文は先陣を切り不分率最低限のマナーはですうせは口ふさぎや限界です絶対言ないの
I like that there's another character and an octave jump too. I mean, just me singing it or trying to approximate it even. That's an octave jump. And she's changing postures while she's changing registers. Try that, even on one vowel. Be here, be low and long, and then witchy up here. Good exercise. Build it. Compression. Then let it falter, fall apart, and compress more into it. There, I got it. Now, part of me being able to even come anywhere near what she's doing in my own voice is the support stuff I talked about earlier. Support and placement. Yes, 100%. The other part of this is that I'm willing to be on camera, having people see me screw up while I try to approximate it. If you're not at that point where you can get in front of people and you're so afraid of people being people judging you, you're never going to be able to unlock these kinds of things in your voice. So just think about that. Are you able to be vulnerable in front of people even when you know you're going to sound terrible? She is. Are you? So there, she went up into her head voice range, and this is tough, especially, male versus female vocal cords and postures, but it's basically that, where I'm up here in a very high head voice mixed posture, right? There's a bit more body to it. And then I put my I do an epiglottal rattle. Oh, this guy up there. But it doesn't have near the effect with my voice or with, I think, a male baritone-ish tenor voice, period. Now, she was way more open on that wah. Whoa! And it can change! So you really hear here on these screams that sigh, like finding her breaking point via a sigh. She's not pushing up to her breaking point. Ha, ha, hi! Ha, ha, hi! It's that. She's coming down to her breaking point. That's a key factor in this technique and why it can be so powerful and desperate sounding. Yes. I mean, I feel like she has sung right here, and I feel her breath and the heat of her voice on my face. I guess that's what a good pair of headphones will do. Oh my. My favorite performance of this so far, hands down. And I did the piano version, I think, as well as a live version and the studio version. The thing I like about this is that it's raw live, but we can hear things better because she's on a high quality mic. It's been mixed with her voice up. Oh man, what a treat. Thank you so much for alerting me to this. Everybody started, leaving messages on other videos that this has come out, you got to do it. And I was gone, so I couldn't make my normal videos. So I got this done as soon as I possibly could, and I hope you enjoy it. Other requests, leave them in the comments. And be sure to join my free singing course linked in the pinned comment or video description if you'd like to learn how to work with your voice in this way. It will completely change the way you think about your voice and the way you relate to music. Pinned comment, video description. We'll see you for more.